Electricity and its heating effect. Now we are going to learn about concept of resistivity. You have already learned about the concept of resistance. Do you remember from Ohm's law? Now we are coming to resistivity. We know that there are certain factors which affect the resistance of a conducting wire. What are the factors? Resistance, which is symbolized by capital R, is directly proportional to the length of the wire L. It means that longer the wire, more will be the resistance. That means R is directly proportional to L. If you take shorter wire, less resistance. Resistance R is inversely proportional to the area of cross section of the wire. Area of cross section A, capital A. It means thin wires are of higher resistance than thick wires. R is inversely proportional to area of cross section A. So if you just join these two and change the proportionality constant to an equation sign, you get capital R, resistance R is equal to rho L by A. Rho is nothing but a constant of proportionality. What do we say? It is called rho, R-H-O, rho. So, and this rho is termed as resistivity of the wire. So how do we define resistivity? Now just see, to define resistivity, we can say that R is equal to rho L by A. That means if L is equal to 1 meter, if you take area of cross section, you take 1 square centimeter, then electrical resistance R will be equal to resistivity rho. So we can say resistivity is the electrical resistance of a conducting wire having 1 meter length and 1 square meter area of cross section. SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. You can derive it from the formula. Now here very important something we have to remember. Resistivity value depends only on the nature of the material used. It doesn't change with the length or area of cross section. It will only change if you change the material of the wire. That means from copper to aluminium. If you keep on changing material, then only resistivity will be changing. And also it gets affected by temperature of the material. So we know R is equal to rho L by A, where rho is the resistivity, L is the length of the wire in meter. Remember, it should be in meter. So if you get it in centimeter, you have to convert it into meter. Area of cross section is also in square meter. So I have shown you a figure where length is L, area of cross section. You can understand the meaning of area of cross section A, which one I am talking to. And rho is the resistivity. Symbol of R, everything is depicted in the figure. Let's start practicing numericals. First one, resistance of a metal wire of length 1 meter is 26 ohm at 20 degrees Celsius. If the diameter of the wire is 0.3 millimeter, what will be the resistivity of the metal at that temperature? You will start with given data. Resistance capital R 26 ohm, diameter, it's given diameter, not radius. Diameter is given 0.3 millimeter. So first you get it into meter, millimeter to meter, 10 to the power minus 4, 3 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter, because millimeter to meter is you need to divide by 1000, but since it is given 0.3, so another, so it will be 10 to the power minus 4. Length is 1 meter. Write the formula. Rho is equal to Ra by L. Now, generally the conducting wire are cylindrical. So what will be the formula for area of cross section? Pi r square or pi d square by 4. I have given the relation. See, d is equal to 2r. So you can say r is equal to d by 2. So d square is, you can see, it is r square by 4. Okay, r is equal to d by 2. So r square will be d square by 4, which is telling r is equal to pi d square by 4, and then length L. Now you substitute the values, and then we will not touch 10 to the power. 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power minus 4 whole square. So that means it is 3 square also. 10 to the power minus 4 into 2. That gives you 10 to the power minus 8. Then don't touch it anymore. Just do the calculation of the front part. Get the result. It is coming 1.83 into 10 to the power minus 6. Did you understand how? See, look at here. It is 183.69 into 10 to the power minus 8. So if I want to write it in scientific notation, that means 1.83. So it is into 10 square. So 10 square into 10 to the power minus 8. That gives me 10 to the power minus 6. If you are not very confident, please recapitulate exponents chapter in mathematics. What happens to resistance of a wire when it is stretched to double of its length? Now here you have to remember one concept. The same wire, when you are stretching, then what will happen? The length is increasing, but the area of cross section is decreasing. What will remain constant? Volume will remain constant. This is a very typical sum and concept. You please remember it. When you are stretching a wire, it becomes thinner. So that means area is becoming doubled, area is becoming halved, length is becoming double. So length I can take as L, cross section area I can take as capital A. So initial formula R is equal to rho L by A. Now I know volume remains constant. Again, it's a cylinder. Cylinder's volume formula is area into length. So A into L. My new area is A dashed and new length is twice L. So I get a relation between new area and the original area. New area is half the original area. Now come back. So the length has changed, area of cross section has changed. So you will get new resistance R dashed. How? Start with the formula. Rho, instead of L you put 2L. Instead of area you put A by 2. So you get 4 times rho L by A, which is nothing but R. So your new resistance will become 4 times of the original resistance if you stretch the length to double. Next numerical is a wire of given material having length L and area of cross section A has a resistance of 4 ohm. What would be the resistance of another wire of the same material having length L by 2, area of cross section 2A? I think now you should be confident to do this sum. It's just like the previous one. First write given data, For first wire, length is L, area of cross section is capital A. So first resistance R1 is equal to 4 ohm, that can be equated with rho L by A. And for the second one, R2, rho, now it is L by 2 and area is 2A. So I get 1/4 rho L by A, which is nothing but R1. And value of R1 is 4. So 4 and 1/4 will get cancelled and I get R2 is equal to 1 ohm. I will request all of you to practice these sums on your own in the notebook to develop confidence. Some question answers. How does the resistivity of a conductor vary with its area of cross section? Resistivity does not vary, does not change with area of cross section. You will get different type of stories to make you confused for this resistivity concept. But always remember, resistivity remains constant, only changes with the material of the substance and temperature. What do you mean by non-ohmic material? Plot VI graph of non-ohmic material. Look at the graph. We know that for Ohm's law, the substances which obey Ohm's law are called ohmic materials. And geometrical representation or the graphical representation of Ohm's law is a straight line. When you plot VI graph, it will be a straight line passing through origin. So for non-ohmic substances, it will be a curved line. It's a parabola. Now, next question. What will be the effect on the resistivity of a material whose length and area of cross section is to doubled? Resistivity does not change, so it will remain same. What will be the resistance of a material whose length and area of cross section both are doubled? I think you can do it now. Would you be interested to try on your own? Yes. Just first write R is equal to rho L by A. Then go for R dashed. Rho, change your L. It will be 2L. Change your A. It will be 2A. So again you are coming back to rho L by A. That means resistance will not change. It will remain as it is. We are coming to a table. You don't have to learn by heart the data of the table, but you should have a good idea of the resistors and insulators with the help of resistivity. Because if you know the resistivity values, the range, then you can predict whether that material given is a resistor or a conductor. Those which are having 10 to the power minus 8, minus 7, these are good conductors, less resistant. And if you see that it is 10 to the power 14, 3, 10 to the power 24, these are insulators, bad conductors. Okay, so this type of questions are asked. So please have an idea. And resistivity unit is given in this table is ohm per meter. It is ohm meter actually. Please note it. Some important facts. Classification of materials on the basis of resistivity. On the basis of resistivity, as soon as you get the table, I told you that 10 to the power minus 6, minus 8, minus 7, these are good conductors. They allow electricity to flow through them. So most of the metals, copper, aluminum, gold, silver, they are good conductors. So they are used as wires to carry electrical current. And then alloys. Alloys is a combination of two or more elements in which at least one element is a metal. Remember the definition. And alloys have low resistivity in the range to -8, -6 ohm meter, or it is -6 ohm meter. However, resistivity of an alloy is generally higher than that of its constituent metals. That means resistivity, as I told you, alloy should have a metal. That metal will be better conductor than its alloy. But since alloys do not oxidize or burn easily at high temperature, we prefer to use alloys. For example, nichrome. It's an alloy of nickel, chromium, manganese and iron. This nichrome wire is used for electric heater, electric iron, toasters, etc. because they don't burn, they don't oxidize at higher temperature. Resistivity of alloys do not change appreciably with the temperature. That is another point to be used as alloys. So please remember, this question are often asked, why do we prefer to use alloys than the constituent metal? Though we know metal is little better conductor. These are the points. Alloys do not oxidize, do not burn at high temperature, and their resistivity do not change appreciably with high temperature. Therefore, alloys like manganese or constantan are used for making standard resistance wires and coils. Some more important facts. Insulators. Materials which do not allow electricity easily are called insulators. The resistivity of insulators such as glass, rubber, quartz are of very high order of 10 to the 10 ohm meter or 10 to the 17 ohm meter. In insulators, electrons are tightly bound to the atoms and have almost negligible concentration of free electrons for the conduction of electricity. The resistivity of insulators decreases with increase in temperature. Very important point. Resistivity of insulators decreases with increase in temperature. Here we get to know about semiconductors. Materials whose resistivity lies in between the resistivity of conductors and insulators are called semiconductors. It's of the range of 10 to the -5, -2 ohm meter. What are the examples? Silicon, germanium. These are very commonly used semiconductors. Remember these names. Semiconductors are extensively used in electronic circuits. The resistivity of semiconductor decreases with increase in temperature. At lower temperature, a semiconductor behaves like an insulator, while at higher temperature, it behaves like a conductor.